I thought about it, and I watched a couple of Ali fights and tapes, and the harsh reality washed over me that it was absolutely, completely impossible. That it just couldn't be done. And not that it couldn't be done by me, it couldn't be done by anyone. Ali was the ultimate performer. Ali was an actor. I mean, everything that he did was big and bright and colorful, and all of the things that you try to teach young actors to be. So I'm like, there's no way. Michael Mann said to me, I will create the curriculum that will allow you to be Muhammad Ali. And we sat down and we talked about the different phases, the physical, the emotional and mental, and the spiritual aspects, and how we would break the syllabus down into these three different categories, and then we would attack them separately. And for the first time, I could see the road. In order to understand Muhammad Ali, you have to not just understand a fighter, you have to be a fighter. And in order to be a fighter, you have to know what it feels like to have an animal on the other side of the ring, that as soon as that bell chimes, he's coming and would like nothing more than to see you dead. If you don't know what it means to overcome that fear, then you won't understand the mind of a fighter. And he's saying this while he's lacing his gloves up. And he's saying, so you're about to understand that fear when this bell rings. And I'm like, well, I'm Will Smith. I'm Will Smith. We would train probably 8 hours a day for 5, sometimes 6 days a week for a year. We'd run at 6 a.m. We would be in the gym boxing at 11, and we would lift weights at about 3. So you do that every day, you start to, your body really starts to change. And I put on, I don't know, probably about 33 pounds. We were shooting a scene, and the scene was wrapped, and basically, it was time for everyone to go home. And the kids were probably 10, 11, 12 years old. And they just picked me up and started carrying me through the streets. And I was like, wow. The change of the name, however small, people would say, well, rose by any other name would still smell as sweet, right? That's what it is. And I think that the change of the name was more personal declaration than public. It turned out to be very public and almost the, most famous declaration of his life, but it was really personal. I believe Ali was the ultimate patriot. He was galactically patriotic. This government is designed as a system of checks and balances so that we won't fall prey to the negative directions that, past governments have fallen to. What Ali said is exactly what is divinely American. Jamie Foxx, I told my wife probably about 8 years ago, I said, that dude has it. He may not know he has it yet, but I know for a fact that dude has it. And when Jamie came in for Bundini, I was like, Mike, please, that's the dude. I'm telling you, that is the dude. Jamie Foxx is the one. Jamie Foxx he's the truth. He is absolutely the truth. And I think people will be most surprised by Jamie's performance in this film. We have, between Jon Voight, as Howard Cosell, and Jamie Foxx as Drew Bondini Brown, myself, Jeffrey Wright as Howard Bingham. We probably have 16 hours. We could show a whole 16-hour film of the four of us just ad-libbing. And off camera, I mean, everyone would stay in character all day. So I would ask, if I have a question for John, I'm asking him as Ali, and he's responding as Cosell. And it really created a wonderful environment to get to know your characters. Ali would come and we would, he was watching him talking about how bad he was. And he's saying, "What? Look, watch this. What's it?" And I'm like, man, this guy, he is so amazed by himself. I mean, he really. I remember the first day he came, and I had been working on the dialect, so I let Ali hear the dialect for the first time, and his daughter came in, and he said, Hannah, look at this, look. He said, "Come on, Will, do that thing you do. I'm like, the thing I do is you. What do you mean, do that thing you do? Like it's I was an Ali toy. Every time somebody came up, "Well, come here, do it, show them that thing you do."